Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about rumors. Let's talk about facts.
We gon' talk about life. We gon' talk about it. Romance, finances, generational wealth.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Hello.
Hey, good people. We had a whole conversation going on this side of the.
We sure did. So welcome.
Almost shout up in here.
So welcome to Let's Talk About It.
Yes, welcome.
I am Marsha E. Dudley.
And I am Etoya V. Lewis.
I know that's right.
Listen at my God baby over here. I just need y'all to know that we ain't got no respect. A woman ain't safe in a house full of kids. That woman ain't safe in a house full of kids. I know she got a goddaddy or something out there in this internet world that could come get her. I know she got somebody who can come get her. She's so disrespectful. She's so disrespectful. Y'all hear?
Gianna.
And listen, look at her mom ain't got no control. None. Look at her. Watch her, y'all. She's trying to get her baby attention. Her baby ignoring her. She's like, I'm on this phone. Just a mess. Okay. So what are we talking about today, Marsha? What are we talking about with these good peoples today?
We are talking about your worth.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
my
your
word.
G child is your G baby is so loud. So, but yes, we're talking about your worth.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna need us to be a little bit more professional up in here. I need us to have some security. I need security to come and regulate up around these parts.
But you want to know something? We are real women. We have a real show. We be talking about real stuff, and this is a real situation. I'm telling you. Don't bring your kids to work.
Today was supposed to have been don't bring your kids to work today, but Marsha turned it around and she said, "Oh yeah, now I remember."
No. Okay, so look, we're talking about your worth. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, we have some of the best conversation. I was just telling Toy, we need a whole camera crew that just follows us and listens to us talk because we have some really good conversations. But
but for whatever reason, it doesn't translate when it's time for it to come to this here part right here.
No. We gonna be good.
Sometimes I feel like some conversations that we have when it's just us and we just laughing and joking and doing what we do.
Yeah.
Bomb conversations.
Yeah.
We try to bring those same conversations here. It's like we're trying to, I don't know.
Because I think that we'd be so real and raw together. And being here, we'd be like, y'all gonna judge us.
I don't care what y'all say about me.
So how did we come up with this topic, your worth?
Well, it actually came from 2 weeks ago as we were ending our segment and you brought up the Taraji P. Henson pay disparity in Hollywood for Black actors, Black women. And it's not just in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with Hollywood.
We're going to definitely start with Hollywood.
So what did you get from what Taraji said?
So her whole thing was that she done put in the work. She should be paid for the work that she has done. And that when she does do the work, her movies or whatever bring in a lot of revenue. So she deserve it. The only thing before we get into it, and well, no, I don't do that. I'll wait till we'll get into it. Then I hit with that. Yeah. I felt like she was right.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how many people was like, why she want to sit there? She in Color Purple. Oprah is a black woman. She doing this and she doing that. And why she want to talk against and talk down?
I think sometimes people don't understand that
Yeah.
Oprah wasn't. She didn't put out the pay.
At all.
She didn't put out the pay for it. But one thing that I heard Fantasia say when someone asked her something is that everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
Because it depends on who you have negotiating for you as well.
Ooh.
So if you don't have someone in your corner, a champion for you, then it can be harder in the industry. And if you're not for yourself, then it's going to be even harder for you in the industry and outside of the industry, because no matter what the job is, there has to be, if the job is one that you can kind of negotiate your salary, then that's what you're supposed to do. If they offer you $22.50 an hour, and you know that the job you just left from doing less paid you more, then you know that there's room. You should always do your investigation, do your research on that position, what the average pay is, and try to negotiate from that.
But the thing is, doing what she do, and she look at other women in the industry,
which would bring over the average. And if she's not even doing average, that is a reason to be angry.
Exactly.
And she also said something about being in the industry. There is a look that you have to have regardless. Whether it's hair, makeup, like all this matters in how you present yourself to the world. And it doesn't come for free. You have to pay your stylist. You have to pay whoever is doing your makeup, whoever's doing your hair, whoever is doing this. You may get designers that want to throw something to you for free just so you can say who it is that you're wearing. But 9 times out of 10, that's not what's happening for everybody. So
it sounded like she was, everybody, when on the outside looking in, it sounded like it's only Taraji complaining. Nobody else is complaining. And
because
they use the word
this was
complaining.
Monique. This was Monique for the past couple of years saying this exact same thing. And everybody was, oh, Monique, she just complaining and complaining. But that's what they do. When Viola Davis said the exact same thing. And she said, well, why aren't you paying me like you pay Meryl Streep? That's like, if you're saying you're the black Meryl Streep, why are you not paying me the same as you paying her?
And then the fact that Taraji, she brought up that they had to either Uber or
drive themselves,
or no, they gave them a
rental car, so they had to drive themselves.
Baby, let me tell you something. I'm like Taraji, baby. When I get so high,
but Fantasia talked about that, and she said, "Well, that was in my contract. I wasn't doing that." So it does matter. It does matter who you have in your corner when it's time to negotiate all the things in your contract.
And it sounds to me like Taraji need to fire her staff again, because she fired them after Empire because she said that her team didn't
fight for her and didn't make sure she had everything that she really needed to be successful in that role.
And that they didn't capitalize on her success from that. So that lets you know that she's been in the industry that long and she still has so much to learn. So y'all, we talk about celebrities and stuff, but we're going to turn this around. We're going to bring this all the way down to you. But I think that we as people, we look at these celebrities and we are so invested sometimes in looking at their lives or whatever, and we all have an opinion, but in reality, they are just like us. We may not be fighting for millions or whatever, but like Toya was saying, if it's at $20,
Right.
That means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't working for no $20, but anyway,
But the thing is, know your worth. Know your worth.
Yeah.
Know what you bring into the table.
Mm-hmm.
In whatever job you get.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those situations. If this is out of my league,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
And I might be messing it up for the next person
Yes.
that looks like me, that's trying
Yeah.
to get this job. So they're gonna automatically downplay them. So I feel like every time we step in a room, we have to be the best version of ourselves.
And let me tell you, so this subject really hit home for me when Toya was talking about it. It hit home for me because tomorrow I do my second round of interviews for a position that I applied for. Same position basically that I'm in now. I'm just negotiating for more money, and it's exactly what Toya was saying. You know, I'm doing my own negotiation. I had to redo my resume and add everything, basically tell my worth. Why am I worth X amount of dollars? Why am I worth this? And I listed everything. And in my first round of interviews, they kind of asked me basically, you know, why do you want this position? Why do you want this? And why do you want that? And I had to tell them, look, I do this, and this. I know my worth and I stand on my worth. And I think that a lot of times people can be intimidated by people that stand firm on their worth.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that Taraji spoke up. Because there were so many eyes on this movie.
Mm-hmm. And that was like the prime time to do so.
Yeah.
I saw something that said that that may have kind of tanked how much they made, and they were blaming Taraji for
Yeah.
that. But I don't
think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Because if you put $100 million into this movie,
Yeah.
they should have been getting paid more. That $100 million, something in that $100 million should have been more toward their pay for. First of all, Fantasia was like, she had to learn how to tap dance. I'm a singer. I get paid to sing. Y'all don't pay me to tap dance.
But I would have been in there.
Yeah, it's fine if you're paying. So obviously she had that in her contract. If I got to learn this, I got to do that. I got to bring more elements to my character. Then yeah, y'all gonna have to pay me.
Taraji need Fantasia's people. Yeah, after that, I would have fired everybody else.
Fantasia has her husband in her corner.
Well, there you go.
Fantasia got her husband making sure everything is going right. Fantasia is in her season, baby.
Yeah, she really is.
She is in her season. But and you said something about, you know, we talk about celebrities. We talk about celebrities because y'all know these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I told you that my friend Jade did da, y'all don't get the visual. You don't understand.
Yeah.
So it's easier to use celebrities.
Yeah.
Because you kind of know the backstory.
Yeah.
And you can give more of an insight into what you've seen, or a documentary that they probably have done, some behind the scenes special or something to bring more insight to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I do it. And of course, your own personal experiences. We appreciate those too.
So when you were in the military, and because we do have a lot of military people that watch you too. When you're moving up in the rank or whatever, is it that you have to be confident and know, do you think that your worth is tied to your confidence?
Do I believe that my worth?
Because my thing is
especially
moving up in ranks in the military, I feel like you need to be very confident in who you are, but you also got to know the right people.
You have to. It can be a political game.
Yeah.
And you definitely have to be able to maneuver. You have to be able to know regulations. You have to know book stuff.
Mhm.
And there are certain standards that you have to automatically meet before you even think about being promoted.
Okay, you just said something. Do you think that sometimes people think that they should just be given something and not understand that in order if you say you're worth this, but I don't see none of that in you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you should be paid, or why is it that people feel like they should just be entitled to something like that? When like you said, it takes knowledge, it takes skill, it takes. Oh, this is a good one. So a lot of Black businesses feel like you should just purchase with them because they're Black and because we're the same color, whatever. But I don't see the value in what you give.
Mhm.
There's your worth doesn't seem worthy.
Mm.
And I seen a post the other day, hurt my heart. This man said, if you got my phone, I screenshotted it. And he said, I'm done doing business with Black people. And he was a Black person. And then all the Black people chimed in and said, me too, because they portray one thing but give you something else. The quality is never there. And I was like, it's all tied to the worth. People sometimes think you're supposed to just give or buy or do, but have zero worth.
All right. Nene said that goes to the saying, show your worth. That's good, Marsha. That's good. Show your worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people do feel entitled to certain businesses, but we have all of us have a story about trying to deal with our people, and they're not standing on business.
Yeah.
We all have a story. Every time I've tried to get something done, and I'm like, no, I want to go to my people. I always want to go to my people.
You do.
I just have to go to another one of my people. I have to let that person go and go to another one of my people, because the same thing with my hair, and everybody be talking about my hair is so cute.
It is, y'all. It's so good.
I had this lady I was going to, but I mean, she good people.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't go back.
Yeah. But
I not once did I slander anything.
Yeah.
Other than the conversation that we had, but who you gonna tell?
And I think a lot of things is tied to your worth. When you feel worth something, you put out worthy.
Carlos said, "Pay me for my experience, not my time." I need to be paid for both of them, especially when I'm doing overtime. Like, what you mean, time and a half?
Yeah.
Some, but it's definitely one of those touchy subjects, because we're speaking about money. I know we're saying worth, but the worth is the money worth. And worth is the acknowledgement. Worth is, this is what I'm bringing to the table. And I ain't saying you got to show me off to everybody.
Yeah.
I ain't saying you got to say every time we go into some type of setting that you're trying to, oh, this is what she did, da 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 da, posting me that way. I'm not saying that, but just acknowledge what I'm bringing to the table.
So even worth in relationships, worth in marriage, worth in friendships.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you expect in a friendship that you feel like it deems it worthy? Because I think now it's like
I've gotten rid of a bunch
few
of
associates now.
People who I was associated with and no longer really associate with, whether it was on a good term or a bad term. It's not really many bad term breakups with friendships.
Mm-hmm.
It's just outgrowing one another
Mm-hmm.
and moving on. I mean, I have some of my best sister friends that we probably don't talk every day, but when we do talk, it's
Yeah.
as if we'd have been talking every single day.
Yeah.
But I feel like you show people
Yeah.
what type of person you are, what their worth, what your worth is to them.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember making a post that said something like, if I love you, you're gonna know it. Because I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna show you
Mm-hmm.
the things that I do will point to me loving you.
Yeah.
And if that friendship isn't doing that, if I feel hurt or neglect or anything negative from
Yeah.
the friendship, then the worth isn't there.
And I think that's with relationship, period, whether it's a friendship, a marriage, or whatever, because we have so many people that put their worth to the side just so that they can be in the presence of someone they think or they deem is better or more worthy or whatever. We do that a lot as a society, a lot as women. We do that.
I think that sometimes if it's a business
Mhm.
type thing, because even if it's your friend, not all friends are needed in a business element.
Yeah, it's true.
Not all friends are this hey, I'm going to this event. I need you to come.
Yeah.
So not because you're not worthy of coming, it's just you don't fit in here, and this may take away my worth.
Okay.
I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want to say it wrong.
I get what you're saying though.
Like I don't want people to think, yeah, you my girl. We cool. We down like 4 flat tires. But this particular event, you're not gonna fit in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for you.
Yeah. Okay, so I definitely get that.
But that's knowing who your friends are.
Yeah, and knowing their, we all have a role and we all play a role, different types of roles or whatever, but I totally get that analogy because my friend Trina, she's not an entrepreneur and she don't care about being an entrepreneur, and that ain't what she's trying to do. But if I tell her, hey, let's go in, when I'm like talking about Jesus, and like today I was like, I need a little bit of encouragement, and she like, well, you gotta do this and that. Okay, that's that. She gives me that. And I look at all my friendships serves a piece of me. And I think that that's what true friendship is.
Yes. Nene says, I think mutual effort, even when not speaking every day, but being there for one another. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And mutual respect for each other for friendships. Yes, I totally agree. I think different friends bring different aspects to relationships. Mm-hmm. So everybody might not fit into the same thing, but at the end of the day, it all works out with the support. Mm-hmm. Showed it. Happy birthday, Megan. Today's Megan's birthday, y'all. She's 21.
Happy
Go,
birthday.
Megan. It's
Happy
your
birthday, Megan.
Okay. Carlos says, a lot of corporations
this is corporation,
don't know your worth when they're looking at hiring you. So that's why I said experience. A lazy person can paint a picture that they're worth a lot with something as simple as a resume that they paid for or copied. That's true.
But when you go in there for them interviews and they hit you with them questions, they gonna know. They gonna know.
Or vice versa. Your resume, you don't write your resume to where it shows exactly who you are. But when you go in, if you get in for the position, you sell yourself.
Yeah.
And your knowledge and experience on whatever the business is.
Yeah. So let's talk about worth in marriage.
Marriage.
in relationship with your significant other, because I think that plays a big role in like the health of a relationship. When you don't feel like you're worthy, it's like you take a lot of crap and you go for a lot of crap, and sometimes I think you may just feel stuck and you're just there. So you see, I just see it a lot in women. So many times women fight. Um, they're fighting to see their worth. And you can tell by the type of men that they attract, what they allow in their relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and just how they I don't know, just live.
Yeah. So what do you all look for, or what is it within your relationship, your marriages that you have today that lets you know that your significant other,
Value.
values you,
Mhm.
finds worth in you?
Is there something that they do that is that special thing for you? Do they do it? I think we all have something that they do that's special and everything.
Why are you laughing?
Because
What's so
I be having on my own conversations
Yeah.
tonight.
I'm like, what's funny? You did that last time. I'm like, what's so funny? I be wanting to laugh too.
Because I was thinking about Victor, and I kept on thinking, well, what he, okay, yeah, he be rubbing my feet. I was, going over, because I said they have those one little
She makes me so sick. She makes me so
That's my
sick.
husband. That's my man. I love him, and I will stick by him. Yeah, but no, I do. I think the other thing is that sometimes we tie our worth to people. That meaning
We
that,
we do that in
yeah,
relationships with our spouses and
yeah,
with friends.
yeah,
I feel like some people do that with friends too.
most
Or they
definitely.
try to they have certain people that they would rather be friends with because of where they may be in the world. Whether
Mm,
it's going to upgrade them in their position
mhm.
or whether it's going to make it look like they're in a position that they're not in.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that 110%. Um, and that's, to me, sometimes it's not always a bad thing.
No, it may
'Cause
not be a bad thing, but at the same time, what loyalty is in that?
there's so when
I feel like it's temporary though, because this is
so
what you're doing for me right now.
well, let me tell you where I'm going with that. I make a post, and it comes up every single year around this time. Change your circle, change your life, because I think that you should always be evolving and growing. And I think as you evolve and grow, you unlock little pieces little more pieces of self-worth. And so it's not that you have outgrown that circle. It's just that you've tapped into another piece of your worth.
It's now just a link.
Yeah. And it's expanding. And so as you expand, you want your circle, you want to make another connection, or as you said, another link. And so I made a conscious decision that I got to get back out here. I think because COVID messed us all up, and we made us we just sit in the house and don't go anywhere and don't do anything. I see you do that. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. I do that. Yeah, you're different. But I realized that I wake up, I go to my office, I work all day long, I shut off the computer, I take a bath, take a kid bath, go to bed, and I repeat every single day. And I got to get out of that. And if I want and it's tied to my worth. Marsha, you're worth way more than this. If you want to go higher, you have to keep growing. And so I'm like, okay, I got to get out here and I got to network with some more people, make some more connections. And in the process, if I make additional friends, great, I'm growing. I think sometimes we get in our 40s or whatever and we think no new friends. No, I don't.
This is when you have to make friends, because
Yeah.
I think in your 40s, you're a little bit more focused
Yeah.
on what you want and where you want to go. And you understand that networking is the only way
Mhm.
to get where you're trying to go,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
even past where you're trying to go.
Mhm.
So that I think that's just you, Marsha. I was with a whole lot of business women last night, and we had a whole great time.
I know, and I'm telling you, it's this space and place that I'm in right now that I'm trying to break out of. And so, and a part of that is unlocking and remembering my worth.
Carlos says, show me appreciation, acknowledge the small things, be each other's biggest supporter.
Well, we know you can come and you can go and say, I just got this well water and I'm selling it. Carlos gonna make a whole post with a video with you gliding down your stairs holding that bottle of water.
And we'll.
Hey, oh my God. Now that he got that covered. He got that covered, baby.
Nene says, yes, my husband does a lot of special things for me. Too many to name, laugh out loud, but here's a few. He's very attentive. He doesn't let me stress over little things, etc. Very grateful for him.
Yeah. Mine bring me balance too, because this morning I told him, I said, I need to just let me get it all out. I said, okay, go ahead. And I just, bleh, bleh, bleh. And he said, you feel better? I do, thank you. And I went back to working.
Sometimes that's all you need, a little sounding board.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, so you vent.
Yeah.
Go on about your business. Okay. Well, my husband is a great supporter. I'm not about to do this.
Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all.
Yeah.
Let Toya say she gonna sell some well water tomorrow.
She at it again, y'all. Y'all go on out there.
Toya could say I'm selling well water, y'all. He gonna make a whole video.
We got bull nuts over here.
Wait a minute. It's gonna be a video, a photo shoot. And we all gonna go buy that well water.
Well, let me try. Let me at least try it. She make it look good. So it ain't gonna hurt me to try it.
There's a well water. Oh my God.
You're stupid. I just want you to know that.
But you know I didn't lie. Was there a lie told?
No.
Woo.
Okay, so is that enough of the worth talk?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, we about to talk about something real serious.
Okay.
I mean, inquiring minds want to know what everyone thinks about the book bans in schools. All this banning of Black literature, sexual literature, anything about a rape, anything about anything. If it ain't talking about cartoons, they don't even want to hear about it. So I'm just kind of like down in Florida, DeSantis, he ain't having it. And then they have a lot of these parents, they're saying parents don't want their kids reading certain books, and that's fine. But isn't there some type of system set up to where they can set up some type of system that says, hey, this kid cannot check out any books with this material in it? Now I
know.
don't have any kids in school.
I'm about to have one. So this
I don't have any kids in school, but if any of my kids were in school, I don't know.
okay, think about it like this. A lady posted a couple months ago that her second grader could go and check out a book about masturbation.
Okay. I get that. But what you should be asking is why would your second grader want to go check out a book on masturbation? And why would you not have parameters in your system that says this child is too young? Like anytime certain books should have, just like they did with music. Remember when 2 Live Crew was out there just, okay, we got to put parental thing on this, right?
But who's going to put, okay, but most people feel that masturbation is natural. So what parental, and they really say that kids start masturbating when they're babies. You know what I'm saying? Marsha didn't listen, I did not put that on there. You can go and Google it and all that type of good stuff. But they're not going to put a ban on that because some people think that is natural.
So not a ban, but you have to have permission from parental permission, in order to check something like that out.
But Toya, you were in school. How many times did you need parental?
I didn't go to the library,
girl.
You want me to lie to you? You want me to tell you the truth? Oh, but I read like a mofo now.
Oh my God, you got okay.
I didn't go to nobody's library because you never give me no extra work. I'm not doing no extra. I already got to read this history book. I got to read this government book. I got to read this social studies book. I'm not doing all that. Nope. Library. That's for people who like books.
I love books.
That wasn't me.
I'm talking about.
But
if you check out too.
If you wanted, now don't get me wrong. I know about if I had a report, I had to go to the library. But I'm only going for the book that I need to make this report happen.
You ain't getting no extra.
I ain't getting no extra. I don't care nothing about that because I'm pretty sure there's a movie out there somewhere that's going to tell me that same stuff that's in that book. I'm just being honest. So we got some people saying stuff over here. Carlos says the government's way of controlling the narrative.
Oh.
Megan says like the school that had a whole gay pride day and was upset when some kids didn't participate. But you can't be upset. Why are you upset that some people don't participate?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's why I said there has to be parental, like just because there are tons of parents that don't want this material in school, there are tons of parents that do want this material in school. What's wrong with To Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh,
what's wrong with that?
Yeah. And a lot of people don't want people to read To Kill a Mockingbird anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that book is amazing. And I think that every child should read that book. It talks about
okay. So you feel like every child.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's the dilemma. Some people feels like this is material, this is stuff that kids need to know about. Now, what I was telling my husband earlier today, as I was having a whole conversation with him, because this has been in my brain, like I just can't fathom why we in this day want to take away stuff that's been out there.
But I agree
for generations.
But I agree with Carlos. We are in a wicked world where the government wants to control and as he said, feed us the narrative. When they told us that if we go on our TikTok, the people in Japan and China, whatever, they don't have the same TikTok as we do. Their stuff is feeding them educational stuff. All we get is dumb stuff.
That's not true. But go ahead.
But if you keep on, the
algorithm is set up for whatever you've already looked up.
Yeah.
If you're looking up property management stuff, then you're gonna get a whole bunch of TikToks on property management.
Yeah.
If you're looking up food, like I always do. That's what you're gonna get. That's the interest stuff that interests you. I'm
Yeah.
always looking up different restaurants in Dallas.
Mhm.
I get a whole bunch of that. So it's set up to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If kids are looking for the wrong or the sexual stuff, that's what they're gonna get. You're gonna get what you put in there.
I agree. Because I totally agree with it. Because all my stuff is business stuff. And like
That's
you
what
said,
I'm
in real
saying.
estate. So I get it. I agree with you. But every once in a while.
Okay, you just gotta keep it moving.
But you be like, Lord, help me.
I'm looking up some good old singing, some country backwoods singing. I'm doing all that. Like, so it's going to every now and then, and these things have ears. They
Yeah.
have
Oh
ears.
my God.
And you talk about something, I'll
Yeah.
guarantee you I'm going to have a whole bunch of what I just said
Yeah.
on my feed.
Yeah.
So if your kids are around other kids that's talking about something sexual, they're going to get it regardless because of these things.
But I still think, like Carlos said, they are trying to feed us a narrative. It's trying, let's take away all this stuff, and we only gonna keep giving you this, giving you that. Even with the news, everything is programmed. I don't know.
Okay, Nene says, at first my thinking is books are of knowledge, and I think they should be available for everyone. I do agree there should be some system put in place that if you don't want your child to read those type of books, or if the books would be triggering for a teenager or whatever, then they just don't pick out that book. I say the same thing. But there may be other people that's fine with reading that literature. But then I wasn't thinking about the parental aspect of it. So like Marsha said, with a little kid picking. Wait, what? I feel like I just picking out, it doesn't go up. I was like, it's just stop. Picking out a book about masturbation. So when you think about it in that way, then it's hard for me to go one way or another. That's the reason why I feel like you should there should be something set up in the library's computer system. Everything is off of computers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you have an opt-out
Yeah.
in your computer that says my child can't have anything that has pornography, anything that talks about
Yeah.
the body parts, anything that talks about any sexual anything that talks about killing, anything that talks about rape, anything that talks about stealing, anything that, like, you have to come up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And your parents just sign off, opt out. That should be at the beginning of the school year. That's just a regular in processing for the student, day one.
So listen to what you're saying. That is, to me, that sounds like the more sensible solution to all of that. But they're basically saying, let's just take it all out.
Right. But that
Because-
makes no sense to take it all out.
Cause going back to what Carlos said,
My child can't learn about slavery.
it's a narrative. They are okay. So listen, they don't want to learn about, they don't want to do Black history. They don't want to do no Black books. They don't want to do none of that. Take it all away.
And they get a lot of good information on TikTok.
Then we have a generation of children who don't know anything about that. It's reprogramming. They don't give a crap about us. It's reprogramming that next generation.
But then when, okay, so parents have a responsibility if they want their kids to know certain things,
That part.
that they have to teach it to them themselves.
But most parents, and I'm not even, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it.
Say it with your chest.
Parents are lazy. They are not, they don't, we live in a, as I go and think about Gianna got her, my tablet, but Gianna gets taught every single day. We have school, but we have a generation of parents who don't want to take out that extra time and say, okay, let's go and do this. I was just telling Victor, I said, okay, we got to start having outings with G. Take her outside this house. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And do other things. Like when we were kids, think about when we were kids, we never stayed in the house. We was outside and all you had was a water hose. That's it. You was either reading, well, outside playing,
However,
reading books,
I'm playing kickball,
Drawing.
dodgeball, volleyball.
Do you know how many pictures you probably drew when you were little?
Mm-hmm.
Drawing pictures.
And I could draw.
Oh, see, drawing pictures, doing painting, doing something, playing mud cakes and mud pies.
Carlos says, remember when the government took corporal punishment out of schools?
Mm.
Hell, parents walk around on eggshells when they even want to discipline their own kids, teaching this new generation that there are no repercussions for their actions.
Okay,
Hold on.
Carlos been on.
Megan says, parents started getting younger and younger.
Yes.
The mama 32 and the grandma 44.
Don't do it, man.
They growing up together. That's true though, because
It's the truth. Don't do it.
think
nigga.
about it. Think about it.
Truth. You telling the truth.
Okay, wait.
You telling-
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that, Megan. That's true, but at the same time, that's always been true. Think about it. That's always been true.
Yes.
Let's not play like this is something new. This is our history. The problem is the times are different,
Yes.
and the way parents look at things are different. Once the village left, that type of parenting left.
Discipline. There's
Yes.
there's no discipline.
Because you get in trouble, everybody from the mailbox up the street
Yeah.
to where I live gonna whoop my behind.
Yeah.
And we don't have that anymore. And my mama not gonna come home and shoot up the whole neighborhood.
Amen.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
And please do not, because this doggone thing just grab that one little word I just said, and they fit the doggone star us. I'm sorry, Marsha. We fit to get starred. I'm sorry. God, dog. This whole conversation gonna be full of asterisks. My bad.
It's okay.
I just thought about it when I said it.
It's okay. It's okay. But you're telling the truth though.
Yeah, it's always been like my grandmother was 14 when she had her first child.
My grandmother was 12.
And then I'm pretty sure she was like 20, 22 when she had her grandchild,
Mhm.
when she had her first grandchild.
Mhm.
So it's different.
And then my mother was 18 when she had, we were 18 when she had a child. But I get, you're right. It's always been like that. But I think that there's not a lot of discipline. And I think that our generation, I actually, to be honest with you, I think it's our generation that ruined the other generations.
Yeah, because our generation came up with the internet stuff.
Yeah. And I think
Well,
that
the generation ahead of us,
I
kind of.
I think
I guess
that,
we will still fall into that generation.
yeah.
Steve Jobs and
Yeah. And I think that some of us, our parents were so rough on us that we are,
that fear isn't there.
yeah. Yeah.
And when they started locking parents up for disciplining their children,
yes. Yeah. I can attest to that. I had my cousin, she had a bunch of kids and she used to beat the crap out them kids. But them kids was obedient. But when they told her that she couldn't whoop her kids and she couldn't do this and do that, them kids bad, all of them in jail. So except for one, maybe.
not 0 games, Megan. She played 0 games. With us, the teachers, the bus drivers, everybody was eligible for that beat down.
God, dog.
Lord, she gonna beat us just for having to fight them.
But we don't have that now. We have it now. You come home, mama, so and so did this. The mama, she ready to nuck if you buck too.
Right.
So you don't have that discipline, and I think that's why the government sees that discipline is no longer there, and they're trying to change the narrative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we about to have a generation of children who don't know anything. You know what? This is reverse slavery. Think about it like this. Let me.
I'm with you. Come on.
Okay. So, and this not only just going to impact Black people, it's going to impact whites, a whole race of these young children. When they took us from Africa, They brought us to a unknown place. They took away our history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now if they take away all this history, now we will have again a generation of children who have that don't understand their generation, and or don't understand their history or know their history. And a lot of our issues are tied to because we don't know our history too.
But that also comes, it makes, as you were saying that, it makes me think about family dynamics.
Mhm.
And so many kids grow up a certain way and they want to move away, right?
Mhm.
And so now their children don't necessarily know their family.
Mhm.
So it breaks down that I can go back and research my family thing as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know who to get in contact with because I don't know anybody from this side of my family.
But but I'm thinking that in their minds, it's a good thing. Now we take away all of that and let me give you this. This is your
Slavery
new.
was a choice.
Yeah.
Y'all learn all kinds of skills.
Yeah. Who was that who said that slavery was probably the best thing that ever happened to us?
But was it Kanye? Because that sounds like something silly he would say.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kanye said that. I'm just saying. That sounds
But
like something he would say.
I just feel like that's what they're doing, is to erase history and rewrite it all over again.
But you can't just try to erase it because you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, okay.
And this is them repeating it. It's just in a
that's exactly what I'm saying.
A different way.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And when we look back now, we may not know the slavery part or whatever, but the 70s and all this culture and all this stuff, we've been rebuilding our history. And like MLK, I know that they don't want to talk about MLK. Wasn't they trying to erase it as a holiday? There's all type of different things. Take away Black History Month.
Why only 28 days?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give them the shortest month. And we only going to celebrate a handful of Black people. We're not going to celebrate a whole bunch of people because their history ain't that much.
Yeah,
because that's what the way they celebrate the same people is how it kind of feels like. Yeah. We only got 28 days, and every year you talk about the same 28 people.
Yeah. And we're bigger than
every year.
We're bigger than Martin Luther King, and no disrespect to him.
No, right.
No disrespect to him, but we're bigger than Martin Luther King. There is so much, we don't understand that it was a Black man who invented the polio vaccine, just different stuff like that. And I think that we are doing a disservice if we allow books and different stuff like that to be taken out. But
I mean, they were already watering the history books down. Yeah. Now they're taking it out altogether. It was watered down for our generation, and they kept watering it down. Now it's all but non-existent.
But do you know that there are more Black people who say that they don't want to know about all that than any other than white people? I just saw
interesting.
I just saw a whole post, and it had hundreds of comments, and they were saying, well, we'll get ready for seeing Rosewood and Mississippi burning. All of that'll be on starting next week.
But that goes back to what I just said about the 28 days of the same exact people. Mm-hmm. They don't want us to know anymore.
Yeah.
And whomever has the government strings over it, that they only want you to know what they want you to know.
Yeah.
And they only want you to know the good part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. So it's up to us to make sure that the kids are aware of the things we need them to be aware of.
And that what you just said is the main thing. Stop putting your knowledge and worth and uh everything in other people. Take responsibility and get it for yourself.
Carlos says times have definitely changed. Our generation grew up with a sense of pride.
Definitely. And this, they don't have pride no more.
Once they start wearing their pants on their knees, on their ankles and stuff, it lets me know that things weren't, we were headed in the wrong direction. That drives me crazy. I'm just saying, it's for me, it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, and we talking about, and this dressing. I hope she ain't looking, but my baby said something to me the other day that really, I was like, thank you, Jesus. She was like, I gotta buy me a different sets of clothes now. I said, bro,
I gotta
said,
buy work clothes.
Yes. She says, I've outgrown. She says, I like that. That was a part of me. She says, but now I've got to have work clothes. I've got to have business things, and that's not who I am anymore. And I said, okay, big nine, all right. But I love that about it, because I used to always.
But that
her,
comes with maturing.
Yes,
that comes with gaining more responsibility in your life. And once you get to a certain position, that you can't wear, like, they're not gonna let you come in there like that.
Yeah.
Especially if they got a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why it's good to have a job that got a uniform. You ain't got to even worry about it. You wear the same thing every day. Okay. Is that all we're gonna talk about with these books that these people don't want the kids to read?
Yeah, that was a good conversation. I really, it's kind of scary in some way, but like I said, that means we just have to take more responsibility and teach our kids.
It's the Megan. It's the LGBT plus ABCDEFGHIJK taking over and being so sensitive that irks my nerve too. They sensitive. I think it's more so because I ain't even gonna lie. The alphabets have more. It's the alphabets.
Yeah.
They have more say than the Black community.
Most definitely.
In getting things done. So sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. And I feel like if you get somebody from the LGBTQ plus community that is also a part of or have ties to any Black legislation or Black initiatives, it could go farther.
I think that they move how Black people used to move. They're unified.
Right. They have to be, because it's everybody against them.
Yeah, but I think that's I think Black people now, we're not unified. We're not the type of unified that we were 50 years ago. 50 years ago, they was, baby.
Right. Everybody was fighting. One fight, we all fight.
We saw that type of unification one time, or in a moment in history during the whole George Floyd thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it was, to me, it was
forced.
Still, yes. It was unorganized. And
also, when that occurred, we were all on lockdown. So it wasn't just the Black people who saw it.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
And everybody felt it.
Yeah.
When you make people feel something,
yes,
that's when things change.
Yeah. But the LGBTQ, that community is more organized than the Black community. We're not organized. Not this generation. that older generation, they were organized. How can a man in Alabama organize a whole walkout in Georgia or Texas or wherever, North
You
Carolina?
sound
South
real Texan when you said that.
What did I say?
They're Texas.
So, but it was that organization and that unity. We have lost that as a community. So yeah.
Well, if the NAACP needs
Yeah.
to step up and stop putting the white people in charge up there. Remember what was it?
What's her name?
Michelle.
But I promise to God,
Natalie.
I thought she was. Hey, let me tell you
She
something.
thought she was black too.
I thought she was black.
She done kinked her hair.
She was light skinned, totally, and I support her 110%.
Because what she was doing was
Yes.
for us. Whether she had to fake it to make it or not.
Yes, she went hard for us.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm mad at her family.
Telling it.
Yes,
We went from looking up to activists like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, and many other positive role models to praising rappers, athletes, drug dealers,
that part.
and so many others.
That
said
part. Carlos been on it tonight, okay? Everything he been
G
spitting.
is telling him to say that. You hear it. Megan says so many black people are falling under the poverty line that they feel it's no need for them to say anything.
Okay, Megan. Oh, I know it's but I got okay.
Say it with your chest.
Megan, we are falling below the poverty line, but we still find money to buy $800 weed and Jordans and nails and eyelashes and purses and I agree with you 110%, but we still find money to do all that dumb stuff.
The Million Man March was another movement that showed that if we unite, we are capable of coming together.
And when was the last time we did that? I wish I would get out there a million right now. Y'all gonna get a whole bun put on y'all. My man ain't going out there, baby. You gonna let them go?
And back in the day, black people were willing to die for what they believed in.
My man is not dying. He ain't going out there.
When you said that, it just made me think. And the women were willing to allow their husbands to go out there and die for the cause because it was proven.
Forget your niggas. Mine ain't going out there and
now she gonna have us blocked.
I did say I'm just Nick Lars.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
back to Megan's. Oh, was that Megan? Carlos's Million Man March. Okay.
You said, "Oh, my man is not
poverty line." That's what you was talking about.
You gonna
get the nails and the hair and all these other things.
Carlos go?
Carlos is grown. He's trained in combatives. He understands how to escape, evade, and he understands resistance. He understands all that.
Carlos, you go get on that plane. Toy gonna up your insurance policy before you even touch down. It's gonna be rewritten.
And you said you have how much? Let me call these people. How much extra is that a month?
My man is not. So you know what? We are a part of the problem. I know I am because I'm telling you now.
I'm glad you understand that you are a part of the problem.
My husband is not.
All for ensuring his
young men
are able to live the lives that they want to live.
I'm not going to no Million Women March. I ain't doing none of that.
The grab them by the cooter march.
No, thank you.
Walk around with your pink hat on.
Yeah, to me that's an easy target.
I mean, anything is an easy target if it's a group of y'all.
I agree. We got too much technology now, and people are way more evil now. So, but anyway,
They are.
yeah.
I digress. Okay, so we had an hour, 5 minutes. That was good conversation.
It was good conversation.
It's really, really good, and we appreciate so much you all coming on and giving us your input and how you feel about these discussions. We love when y'all talk about it with us.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
If you're not subscribed to our page, please subscribe. Oh, we got somebody still saying something. 2024, and we still don't have a seat at their table.
We got our own table.
We build our own table. That's what we have to do. But the problem is they keep taxing us building these tables.
Yeah.
The taxes that come from trying to own something and have stuff of your own is the problem. This is how they get us. Every time. You tax me to work. You tax me to pay. You tax me to play. You tax me to breathe air. On these taxes.
They do.
And then at the end of all the taxing you already did all year, you come and tell me I got to go and file taxes. What you mean? More taxes? What is happening? So you want to tax me again on top of all the taxes you've already taken? Baby, we living in a world of criminals, boy.
And you go look at them tax brackets. They are making sure they get every dime, especially from their middle class. So
okay,
but anyway,
but the middle class already paying taxes before they pay taxes.
Yeah.
Why do you have to pay taxes on stuff 10 times? It just makes no sense. But that goes back to the worth and why that $150,000 ain't nothing. Because they already took half of it. Now with the other half, I got to pay all these people that's working for me. Jesus, why? Lord, get these doggone rules and regulations together and all this taxation and all this fornication.
And that's why they're going to move them books.
Because they don't want you to know you're being taxed 10 times. God almighty. Okay.
All right.
And then got to pay taxes to eat. Nanny said she's screaming. Okay, y'all, we ain't gonna mess with y'all no more. Yeah. But in 2 weeks, we'll be back. 2 weeks, people.
Y'all send us some topics. We want to hear from y'all.
What do y'all want to know about? What y'all want to talk about? Tell us what y'all want to talk about.
We ain't scared. We'll talk about it.
If we don't know about it, we do research.
Or I'll make it up and make it sound
real good. Sound like we know we did some research, because I ain't even talk about how women get paid 82 cents to a man dollar. Yeah, and we ain't even talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, until we meet again, you guys, y'all enjoy the rest of your weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all in February. That's a long time. I know it starts next week, but we still got the following week before we come back. So it's the 8th, 7th, 8th, something like that. There. Something like that. Anywho.
Yes. So
tune in 2 weeks for another episode of Let's Talk About It. Good night, y'all. Peace. And I'm actually doing this right this time.